Welcome to the Eagle's Nest. I'm your host, Thomas B. Trading Post Chair for 2024 Wahinasa Lodge. And today I will be interviewing our very own Lodge Treasurer, Patrick.
Hey guys, what's up?
So today I'm going to be asking you a couple questions about who you are, what you do, and some other simple things that people just got to know.
Alrighty, sounds like fun.
All right. My very first question for you today. What do you do in the Lodge and how does it affect it?
So what I do in the Lodge is basically summed up into a pretty simple sentence. It's I maintain and I balance the Lodge's budget for the 2024 year. I'm responsible for creating the budget, so I get what each individual area or chairman needs, and then in turn put it into a master spreadsheet, and I have every chairman, every area, every service area like that has its own budget and its own need for the year, and those kind of outline what our monetary goals and deadlines are for the year going forward.
Why did you want to be a treasurer for the Lodge?
Well, really, it basically was just wanting to further my service to the Lodge. I was registration chairman before this, and I saw the opening, and I was already familiar with it through working with all of the registration and treasury side of registration, and it just seemed like the logical step, and I wanted to further my service to the Lodge, and this was the spot I needed.
What was your favorite memory from registration?
My favorite memory from registration was undoubtedly, it was the 2022 winter camp where we had 56 brotherhood members go through. It was the largest brotherhood we'd had in like 15 years or something, and it was incredible to see the Lodge just absolutely packed. And as registration chair, it was really cool to be able to see all those people come through, and then having to elevate them in Lodge Master up to brotherhood was just a really cool feeling.
That honestly sounds great. Being able to see 56 airmen go through to get their brotherhood honor.
It was absolutely incredible, yeah.
You must have like two EMATs, two separate ceremonies teams.
Yeah, we had 2 or 3 separate ceremony teams, and we weren't expecting that number. So the Brotherhood chairman and the Brotherhood advisor really had to scramble to make that work, and they did an awesome job on that. So I was just happy to be able to help start that ceremony off smoothly with check-in.
Would you say that was your favorite memory from scouting? Or is there something that has made you laugh and smile a lot more than that?
For scouting, there's definitely some that hold more memory, but for my time in the OA, I think that's definitely takes the cake. But for scouting, my troop this summer, so the summer of 2023, we went to Florida Seabase in the Florida Keys, and we did the scuba trek. So we did 11 different dives, including a deep dive and a night dive. So the deep dive, we went down to 60 feet to get our PADI Advanced Open Water certification. And our night dive, we were down for about 45 to an hour, and it was just pitch black, and we had our flashlights. That was it. So a week in the Florida Keys, not sailboating, but motorboating and scuba diving with my troop. That was just absolutely incredible.
Would you recommend Seabase to a lot of people if they like water?
100%. If you like water and you're afforded the chance and you can afford it, take that trip, because those memories will last a lifetime. I've got pictures on my phone that I look at them, I smile. There's songs that come on that were played repeatedly at Seabase that come on, and I think about Seabase right away. So the memories made there are absolutely worth going.
No, I could say that about going to Summit in the summer 2023. I mean, there's photos like that make me smile and laugh. Like I hear a certain song and I think of like that bus ride all the way up there to West Virginia. And those are some of the best memories.
Oh yeah, yep. When we went to Seabase, we had our flights got delayed and everything, and we were laying in the Nashville airport at like 9:00 at night, and it's like 30 boys and a bunch of adults laid out with our gear. And I mean, that's just a memory you don't really get doing anything else other than these big type events with your scout troop, and the memories are absolutely worth it.
Oh yeah, like after like that much weight, you must have been hungry.
Oh, I was so hungry. We got into Camp Sawyer Jackson, which we stayed the night before going to proper Seabase. We got in at like 2:30 a.m. or something, and by the time you're going to bed, it's like 3:30, and then you're waking up 4 hours later if I'm lucky. And breakfast that morning was top-notch food. Not actually top-notch food, but it tasted like top-notch food because I was so hungry.
You know, speaking of top-notch food, what is not your favorite food, but your go-to food?
Oh, my go-to food. That's a hard one. Okay, is this like if I could pick the food to have, this would be the food I'd have?
Oh yeah, like this is everywhere, your daily life, not just scouting.
My daily life top pick food. Oh, it comes down to two. Either a good steak with garlic butter and baked potato, or my mom's chicken parmesan. It comes down to those two, but I think I gotta go chicken parmesan, because it's so good, and it's really simple to make actually, but it tastes so incredibly good.
Sounds like me, you, and Mr. Arnold are gonna have to have a little bit of a cooks fest inside of the lodge.
I think we can arrange that. I think we can get a top chef competition going in the lodge. I think Randall's probably gonna beat us though.
Oh yeah, no question. I mean, at the end of the day, we're gonna have some bomb chicken parm.
Oh, the chicken parm will be top notch. We make some of Randall's Italian stew on there too.
Oh my gosh,
that's gonna be a good day.
Good does not give that enough credit.
No, it doesn't. We need to make a new word for it.
Oh yeah, no, he has a great stew recipe.
He does. I made it at home the other night for my family, and it's pretty good.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing in the DMs for Trading Post how Mr. Arnold makes it.
Yeah, because I had to ask him about it because I wasn't sure if it was him or not, and I had it at a Cracker Barrel one time, and I was like, and with how crazy I was running around Cracker Barrel with registration chair, I didn't get a time to ask anybody. But yeah, I figured out it was him, so I had to get the recipe.
Honestly, for a stew like that, I would too.
Oh, it's so good, and it's really simple too. And with heading off to college, it makes perfect sense to start getting some of them easy recipes to make.
What college are you thinking about going to?
Well, so I've got two top ones. Number one is Florida State University down in Tallahassee. I've gotten a deferral from them, so I'm waiting to hear back probably around early April from them. And then my number two school is University of Kentucky, and I've been accepted to them. So we're just waiting to hear back from FSU, and then with all hopes, I'll be going there starting in mid-August.
So how do you plan to keep your lodge leadership while you're away at college?
Well, so luckily enough for me, Florida State's term starts late enough in August that I can still make it to August induction weekend. So the only event that's in jeopardy of me not making it is fall fellowship. But fall fellowship, I will be able to make. Correction, I will be making fall fellowship. It just requires a little bit of traveling on my end. So a little bit of a drive from Florida State, which is nothing for coming back to the lodge. I'm more than happy to make that drive.
Do you plan to keep leadership after the 2024 year, or do you think you're going to step down?
I think I might have to step down, just not because I don't want to continue to serve. I 100% want to continue to serve, but it's kind of a situation where I'm not going to be able to devote myself 100% to the lodge in communications and making spreadsheets and everything like that and attending events. For me to take a position just because I want to continue to serve would be selfish and detrimental to the lodge. Whereas if I step down and let a chairman take the treasurer position and help them as much as I can while being in college, that gives me a new role to take on, almost as an advisory position to anyone in the lodge that might reach out to me. If I were to take a position, I wouldn't be able to give 100% of myself to the lodge, which if I take a position, I am going to do everything in my power to give 100% to that position.
Yeah, that's a good outtake on it. What are you planning to study in college?
So it's not 100% finalized right now, but we've kind of got it down to two areas, probably either business management or construction management, which I know are kind of varied topics, but construction management gets me to pursue a career in construction management, gets me the things I like in life. It's being outside using my hands, not stuck in a desk job, which I would go crazy with. But it's also, it pays very well, and it's not a physically intensive job that wears down my body. The same thing kind of goes with business management. Business management fits very much into the treasury position. So it's a lot of broad, big picture, looking at a year, a fiscal year, monetary year. So all of that kind of feeds in with the treasury position, which is why taking this position has been incredibly helpful for me in my potential career pursuits after college. So we got it narrowed down. I haven't picked 100% what it's going to be, but it also depends on which college I'm going to.
That's a really smart move right there.
You know me.
I do, somehow, some way.
I don't know. I just kind of showed up here.
Well, a little bit. I mean, I did too. Kind of showed up out of the blue in 2020 as a 12-year-old.
It's the best way to get into it. Just kind of fall into it, and then you stay in it for life.
Kind of what Ethan Morrow got stuck into.
Yeah, he roped himself into a lot.
He really did.
He's just that good. Like, he is literally just that good. I mean, he's one of my chairmen, and I don't even have to worry about him.
Yeah, but he's also away at Vanderbilt, so kind of.
He's got that big brain.
Kind of carries out. Well, he's also like the only person eligible for Founders Award, but it's a very prestigious thing to earn.
Very prestigious, and Ethan is 100% worthy of that one.
Oh yeah, no, he's done a lot. Thinking of like some prestigious things. What is something that you want to be memorized in the lodge for?
Honestly, to me, and the way I was raised and the way I go about my business, it's got nothing to do with any of the bling I get. I'm an Eagle Scout, but I would have been perfectly fine going through 6-7 years of scouting, learning all I did, having all the memories I did, and not getting Eagle. I still feel like I would have learned and bettered myself as much as I did having earned Eagle. So for me, ultimately, it just comes down to doing the best I can for the lodge in whatever position I take, whether that be registration chair, treasurer, winter camp registration chair, whatever position I take for the lodge, I endeavor to be the best I can in that position and devoting myself 100% to accomplishing the goals of that position and helping the lodge with that position. Because ultimately, if not every LEC member is devoting themselves, it's ultimately the lodge and our fellow airmen who are the detriment to it, not ourselves. So, to me, that's the biggest thing with me and making an impact in the lodge is doing my job correctly so that everyone else can enjoy their valuable time in the lodge.
That's something great. Like wanting to be remembered for doing your best in the lodge. That's something honorable to be remembered for.
Just hard work and doing your job right.
Isn't that what we all want?
Servant leadership.
Amen. Looking back on your scouting career, what do you think was not like per se the worst, but one of your least favorite memories in scouting?
It's not a single event, and nor is it something I would change if I could. If I could go back in time to when I crossed over into my troop, I wouldn't change anything about how I did my time in the troop. I would keep it all the same. But if I had to pick something that was the worst, quote unquote worst time in my scouting career, it would probably be the first year and a half in my troop. I crossed over into a troop that was very active and very boy-led, scout-led, and they didn't give a ton of guidance to the younger scouts when they crossed over from Cub Scouts, where Cub Scouts, everything is spoon-fed to you, and that's perfect for the program and the age that it is programmed for. But when you get into Boy Scouts, it's a lot more, it's very independent. And if you don't necessarily know what you're doing, it can be very overwhelming and you can get lost. And I kind of got lost for the first year and a half of my scouting career until I found my friends in the troop and I found the way I wanted to be a scout. But like I said, I wouldn't go back to change it even if I could, because it all came into effect through those 7 years and culminating in me being an Eagle Scout.
There's a lot of things that I wish went differently, but now that I look at them, sometimes you got to go through that struggle to be a better person.
Definitely, yeah. Struggle builds character, and ultimately that character building is the better for us. Failures are not a bad thing in life. They're an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to grow and develop and expand your bounds.
Speaking of like developing and growing your bounds, how would you describe your NYLT experience?
My NYLT experience was unique compared to everybody else's, because I went through NYLT at 16, I think probably almost 17, and I was currently serving as SPL for my troop, which was really funny because here I am actively demonstrating all of these skills and all of this knowledge in my troop, and then I go to NYLT, and it's almost like looking back at my leadership journey retrospectively. I look back and I'm like, I could have used this knowledge at this point to do it slightly different. I got to the same end goal, which is successfully, mediating whatever the problem was. But the knowledge and the things taught to you at NYLT, for me, gave me a little bit of approval in the way I had been going through my leadership journey. It was okay, I was right about how I did all this. I took the right steps, I had the right mindset, everything like that. So it was less a learning experience and more a retrospective look back at all my years of leadership.
Now, do you have any advice for any airman or any scout that's about to go through NYLT?
Pay attention, which I know it's a really kind of simple thing to say, but I mean I know those presentations, they can be a little long, they can be a little boring, especially day 5, day 6, when you're drained, you're getting not a lot of sleep, you're not used to all this activity, and your brain is tired from being filled with all this knowledge over the week. But I mean, each one of those presentations is just as important as the next for continuing your servant leadership. And if you don't pay attention to it, you can miss something very, very vital. So I really do think the best advice is listen and take in what is presented at NYLT, because the folks presenting it have gone through the course, but also they've learned these skills on their own in the real world.
Oh, you airmen out there and scouts, that was some actual advice right there. Just listen up, because sometimes I did not listen up. I missed something so vital that I completely missed it and had to retake like the entire course in my own brain. Like, some things you just gotta learn. Some things,
and
given.
I'll be completely honest. There was a couple times I doodled in that NYLT notebook they gave you, because you just it's so your brain is just numb and it turns itself off. But and there were a couple times that I got a little bit lost. I had to look around and I had to find out what we were talking about, and I had to ask folks that were paying attention. I had to ask my troop guides. I got the meaning, but 100% paying attention the first time is the best advice for going through NYLT.
Speaking about going through things and notebooks, do you remember your little staff butt pad from Boxwell that you were told to always carry?
Oh, for staffing summer camp?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, I went through so many of those little butt pads. And working at the pool, and being the swimming merit badge instructor, I went out and I got a waterproof one. So it was a waterproof paper, and it was a waterproof pen designed to write on the waterproof paper, and it wouldn't smudge off or anything like that. But I went through so many of those butt pads because there's important times, there's important dates. If you're a merit badge counselor, you got to remember the scouts' names and what sessions they're in and everything like that. And those butt pads they save your life. Well, they save your butt. Um, but yeah, they are really important.
Now, when you said going through a lot of those butt pads, did you mean like you accidentally jumped in the pool with one in your pocket one time and someone got upset?
I'm not gonna lie, I did that at least twice. I fell in the pool with a butt pad in my pocket at least twice.
Oh,
'Cause
you're not a pool staff if you haven't jumped in the pool with something that you shouldn't have.
Oh, I jumped in with my butt pad, my shirt, and my phone in my pocket. Lucky enough, my phone was in a waterproof case because I was smart and I knew it was going to inevitably happen, so I bought one before the summer started. But yeah, and what's funny is one of the times was in the middle of one of my sessions. I'm walking and I just misjudged the edge of the pool, got 1 foot off, and just went straight in sideways. And then I had to play it off in front of the scouts as I meant to get in the pool because I kind of jumped myself in once I realized I couldn't turn back and get back to the deck. Yeah, that was not the best because that butt pad was a little ruined after that. As a matter of fact, I kept all my stuff from that summer, so I have my 2 wet, wrinkled butt pads in a box up in my room.
Oh yeah, I think I have my pool-ridden butt pad somewhere.
Yep, it's memories. You open that box and you just kind of, because everything still, even if it was years and years ago, it still holds a memory to it.
Oh yeah, I heard you get a little upset when people say that your pool staff shirts were a bright pink, right?
Yes, they're not pink. They're raspberry sorbet. There's a difference between the two.
Is that a very vital difference, or is it just like a?
The difference between raspberry sorbet and pink is like the difference between night and day. It's a very important difference.
After leaving off with the pool subject, I think we're gonna have to sink the conversation down. Let these airmen relax their brains after hearing this conversation.
Yeah, it's
think about some other things. Maybe staffing Boxwell, going to NYLT. Being more involved with OA. I think we're gonna have to give the audience a goodbye.
Yeah, sounds like it. It's a very thought-filled episode.
Very well. Good day, good night, sleep well, have a good day. And this is the Eagle's Nest.